Activity O2, OT02, and it's in support of the partisan feature recognition capability in the Catia program. Uh, the first one involved identifying certain features and then either manually or automatically recover them and put them in the tree. Okay. I suggest that you watch the activity OT01, OT01, because there I talk about what is the whole idea behind this partisan feature recognition functionality. But here I'm going to be, actually in that activity, I discussed the first two icons here, but now I'm going to be discussing this icon which is called part analysis. Okay, so the idea behind the part analysis uh, icon is when you have an object which is a solid object in the STP form. Okay, maybe sent to you by another user, and he or she used a different software, so you don't have all the functionalities in there. I don't know how many fillets you've got, how many pads you've got, etc. This part analysis will allow you to find the number of fillets and rounds. You might say, well, what is a round? Well, the idea behind them is similar. Fillet is internally between two faces like that, or surfaces. And a round is an external kind of a fillet. Okay. So when you look at this, here is 1, 2, this is external, 3, 4, 5. That's the one in the back right corner. 5 rounds and 1, 2 fillets in this model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this model for you in Catia, then save it as an STP file and close this. Presumably, this STP file, which was done in Catia, could have been done in a different software and sent to you by another user. But since I don't have that luxury, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create in Catia, create the STP file, close the part file, Catia part file, and then read the STP file and interrogate it. Okay. So when you click on this part analysis icon, what happens is this dialog box opens up and it says, first of all, what do you want to analyze? You have to select that part, that STP solid, dumb solid part. And then if you want to color code them, for example, some of them being, depending on the size, some of them being I don't know, magenta, some being red in some order. And the same thing with the fillets. This first column is for round, the second column is for fillets. And you can do the same thing there. The only thing is that there is this checkbox which says analyze conical fillet rounds. What that means is that notice that generally speaking, when you talk about fillets or rounds, you're assuming that that curved surface is coming from a circle. Okay, but that may not be the case, circle or cylinder. But that may not be the case because you have the option of putting a conical surface there, such as maybe um, a parabolic one or a hyperbolic one, etc. Generally speaking, I don't do that, but if you have that and if you have some of those and you want to identify them, then you have to check this box. Okay. And you can also specify the range of things to be range of fillets or rounds to be for depending on the radii to be identified and displayed for you. Okay. So for example, here when I do this problem, you see that it's identified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds and 2 fillets. Now, I have assumed, when I make these fillets and rounds, I assume that they're all the same size. Like these are 9mm, I believe, and these are both 5mm. Therefore, this minimum maximum doesn't matter because they're all the same. Okay. And that is the dialog box that opens up. It says there are 5 rounds, 5 rounds recognized and 2 fillets recognized, etc., etc. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So I'll make a part file, and I'll call this thing uh, rounds and fillets. How about that? Rounds and fillets. Okay. Let me make it. So on that horizontal plane, I will sketch. I'll make something that resembles what you saw there. So maybe a rectangle like that, exit, and then pad it. I'll drag it further up. Okay. And on that face, I will sketch a circle. Maybe something like that. Exit and pocket it. Okay, good. And then the way I did those other two, I selected this face, drew on it a rectangle, exit, and pocketed that. Okay. And then put some fillets and things like that. So let me put some fillets here. I'm going to double click on this edge fillet. This is a fillet, and this is a fillet of radius 5. Okay, and then these other ones are also fillet when it comes to making it, but when it identifies them as round because it's external, essentially. So let me see, what do I have here? Yep. Oh, actually, I need, okay, so let me see what I have here. Yep, and then there's one in the back, and I think there's one over here. Yeah, all right, and make that thing 10. Okay. So that, so basically what I have here is these are rounds, 10 millimeter, and these are fillets, which are 5 millimeter. Okay, so here we are. And then I'm going to save this thing, file, save management, save as, yep, rounds and fillets. First of all, I save the part file, which I don't have to incidentally, because all I want is this STP file. I don't have to have, I did not have to save this CAD part file in order to save its STP format. So let's do that now. File, save management, save as. Here is the STP, and then say OK and OK. And I don't need this. I'm going to kill it. In fact, I can go and delete that from my folder if I wanted to. Well, I'm not going to do that, but you can. Okay, so where are we here? Week 9, and there is activities, and you can see that fillets and round. This was a CAD part file, and I can delete it as I said. And here is the STP format of this, which is a dumb solid basically. So you go to Catia, you open that. This could have come from another software, and generally speaking, if it comes from another software, there is no guarantee that it can actually see everything and do everything that this part part design feature recognition is designed for. In all likelihood, if it's made with Catia, no problem. But if probably all of it or most of it is going to be recognized and analyzed, but not necessarily if it's coming from another software. It's pretty good, but not guaranteed. So here we are. This is the STP file. We open it up. Okay, there we are. This is the ordinary message saying that it did actually read it basically. Now, this geometrical set is totally useless for me, so I'm going to delete it, or you can leave it like that. It's not going to hurt you. And notice that the dumb solid was created, and in order to be able to do this part design feature recognition stuff, functionality, you have to make sure that this is the work in work object. So put the cursor there, right click, in work object. The underline means that now you can use these things. So here's the situation. By the way, what I just did for you was to mention what you saw there. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead there. And now this is the one that says part analysis. You click on it. I select the object, select the body right there, and I already did that in the previous run, therefore it's sitting there. But if you're doing it for the first time, in all likelihood these are both white, okay, like that. They're both like this. And you do whatever you want. So what I did in the previous thing, I did this thing magenta. I did this thing as magenta. I did this thing as magenta, and this one as I believe green. Okay, good. Now you can also set ranges here, which I'm not going to do. Now, I'm going to say okay. It tells you exactly what happened. It said it identified 5 rounds. And where are the 5 rounds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because on this there's 2 of them, and 2 fillets. And identify the radius. Actually, I think in this video I put down just 9 millimeters. My radii were 9. The fillets that I made and the rounds that I made was 9, not 10. But here I made it 10. So we say, okay, as soon as you do that, because you asked for the color, right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the rounds, and these are the fillets. This is useful if you're going to find out somebody sends you a complicated, thing with lots of fillets, small fillets, big fillets, etc., and you want to find out where the fillets are, because it could be that some of these small fillets are going to cause a problem for you when you do analysis, finite element analysis, for example, and you want to defeature them. You better know, for example, where they are and things like that. And that is going to be the content of the next tutorial that I'm going to do, namely OT02 which is going to be this last icon, and that is definitioning a shape. Okay, so that takes care of this particular tutorial or activity.